welcome. On this No Food, Drink Gaming, we take on the FPS offerings of Ritual Entertainment's and episodes, take a look back at some classic simian platform gaming, set up for Sam Fisher's latest assignment, pay tribute to some of the gods of arcade shoot-'em-up action, and we get the latest report from hell in the foggy depths of Michigan. So here we are with the first ever review, Sin episodes for the PC. It's running on the Source engine, best known for bringing us Half-Life 2, and is most arguably the most successful FPS title to date. Let's see if Sin can match up to that. It should be noted that Ritual have taken an interesting step with this new version of Sin by releasing content in smaller episodes, but charging players a lot less for the experience, and in all honesty, your first run through the game is more than its money's worth. So as mentioned, this is a new version of Sin. There is an original. It was developed on the Quake 2 engine. It was released back in 1998, also by Ritual Entertainment, and it was published by Activision. And the story follows similar plot lines, although it should be mentioned that it is set in an alternate reality from the original, and it's set in the near future of 2337. The police forces have collapsed due to inefficiency and ineffectiveness against the rising tide of crime, and so this is where you come in. You play John R. Blade, who is in charge of his own security company, Hardcores. The action kicks off from Blade escaping a secret research and tech facility, and he is personally experimented on by Alexis and her crony or partner Roddick. And Sin does very little to innovate and doesn't apologise for it for 1 second. Once you progress through the opening scenes, you're thrust straight into action, and from there on till the end, it doesn't stop. Enemies won't give you a break, but it's not a hindrance. As long as you pay attention and get on with it, you're not going to find yourself stressed to progress through. And this is your partner Jessica Cannon, who has a nice little habit of disappearing through cracks you can't fit through once this shit hits the fan. The main goal of Emergence is to track down Roddick. You saw him in the opening scenes there, the guy with the funny goatee beard, like most drug dealers. And Roddick is under the protection of his own genetic clone security force. And what this means for us is that for a good half of the game, you are subjected to the 3 guys with the same 3 models, with the same 3 voices, over and over again. As the plot does develop though, you do come into contact with Alexis's security forces, who are a bit more challenging. The one good innovation about Sin episodes is the personal challenge system. What this is you're presented with 2 sliders when you start a game. One controls the AI and the quantity of enemies you will face, and the other dictates how often the game will help you by throwing you medkits and other items that you need to kick some ass. And this feature that you see now is a nice little add-on that comes with the game. It is called Play Arena, and the objective is you get your 2 sliders again, you set them to your own personal challenge level, and you survive. The longer you survive, the more points you get, and it's uploaded online, and you can compare stats with friends. All said and done, given the grievances with the diversity of enemies and the limitations in weapons, and a pretty linear direction in gameplay, Sin episodes is actually a really good FPS title. It's pure action, it's more than your money's worth, and I can only suggest that people get in on it now before the next episode comes out. Now, the next episode was scheduled to be out in the final quarter of 2006, but given that it's November now, that isn't looking like it's going to be possible. Hopefully Ritual will have some news, some updates pretty soon on it, and we'll see it in the first quarter, but until then I think Alexis has something to say on the matter.
You think I'm such a naughty, naughty girl.
Hey bitch, why don't you dial back the psychosis a notch?
Are you alright? Oh my god! Are you alright? What the? What's happening to you?
Right, here we are, the long-awaited Splinter Cell Double Agent on PC, Xbox, Xbox 360, GameCube, PlayStation 2, and coming to a PlayStation 3 and Nintendo Wii near you. So, straight off the bat, graphics, it's next gen, it's fantastic, nothing more to say about that. So, another Splinter Cell, more of the same, or something new? Well, it is something completely different. Basically, this first mission that you see here, it takes you back to the old staple of Splinter Cell, but after that, it throws that out of the park and says, no, we're going to do something different. So this time, Splinter Cell is supposed to be all about choices, and that reflects itself straight away in the field. But that's nothing new for Splinter Cell. You could get security codes. You could hack nearby computer terminals and devices to get through, or you can interfere with other objects in the game world that are impeding your progress through a level. Or you could just straight up shoot everything in sight. That's an interesting thing about Splinter Cell this time. It has basically said, let's say no to stealth. Although it does reward you for stealth, stealth is not an option in many, many scenes of the game. So what's different about Fisher this time? Well, he's just as athletic as ever. He can do everything that you've seen him do in previous Splinter Cell games. You see him here shimmying across bars. Pretty much every object in the game he can grab onto. If you can't grab onto it, it means the game doesn't want you to go there. So I did say let's not talk about the graphics, but let's just brush over some points again. A lot of this Splinter Cell has been redone. It's on the new Unreal Engine, which looks fantastic, and basically people who see this probably cannot wait for Unreal 2007 if they're fans of FPS shoot-em-ups. It's just overall an extremely well polished game. Ubisoft have really went to great lengths to make sure this game looks fantastic, is ready for next gen and plays well too. I think Ubisoft were aware too with the danger of making a fourth Splinter Cell in the series that this was becoming an entire title, and they've done a lot to diversify from that. Like I said already, they've got rid of stealth. It's a lot more of an action-based game, which is good. It's applicable to the storyline, and also Sam's got a lot of new gadgets, features. You see Zops out there. You can unlock more weapons by completing specific tasks in the game. Which brings us on to the story and the character you play as Sam Fisher this time. In this time in Sam Fisher's life, he is a broken man. He's lost everything. And because of that, Third Echelon think he's ready. He's got the skills, he's got the cover story, he's capable of going undercover. They send him over cover, same jail as the terrorist organisation's key member. They gain his trust, and they buy his way inside. And once you're inside, this is where a game comes in one of its own. In Splinter Cell Dual Agent, everything is about trust. You're playing for two teams here. So when you're in JBA headquarters, which is a lot of the time in the game, you are given tasks by both sides. JBA might give you some training, ask you to assemble some mines, or hack email. The NSA, or Third Echelon, that's the old organisation you worked for, might ask you to search through for files, hack computers to get files, or place various bug tracking devices on site. And it's not easy. Throughout the entire game, JBA never really trust you. You could fill that meter to the top, and they will never trust you enough to let you in on all their nice little secret areas. So, a good thing, as the game progresses and you do gain trust, they may not give you access to these areas, but they do get a lot more careless. They leave fingerprints around. You get a fingerprint scanner, you can scan that fingerprint, go to the nearest fingerprint scan access area, stick the device on there, and it'll think you're someone else, and it'll let you in. And sticking around JBA headquarters is not an easy task. You do get a timer, and the first time you see that timer you will think, what am I going to do for 25 minutes? But no, honestly, the answer is, you're going to do way too much. You are continually asked every time you visit JBA headquarters to do this, and that. There is just so much. You'll find that 25 minutes is not enough time. Even with all the times you'll visit during your first play of the game, you probably won't complete everything. And all that's down to is because you need to plan it a bit better. You need to find out where everyone goes at various points of your visit to JBA headquarters, what they're up to, the paths to sneak around, and it's really a good part of the game. It's also a suspenseful part of the game too, and you see this look written on Sam Fisher's face. Whenever he gets caught, the expression Sam Fisher pulls is one of a kind. It is fantastic. It looks like he shit himself. And if you were caught sneaking around in a terrorist organisation undercover, you'd probably shit yourself too. All said and done, Splinter Cell is a game that is at the forefront of next generation in terms of graphics and also gameplay. What has to be said though is at times it does feel like it's cheaped out a bit. You do spend a lot of time at the JBA headquarters and not a lot of time in the field. Although the field has the same kind of play elements to it, you do get separate objectives for NSA and JBA. It's just all over too quickly. And it also has to be said that there is no real challenge in balancing trust between JBA and NSA. It's all too easy to keep both sides in trust. That if you want to. There are multiple endings to this game, and those multiple endings are based on the amount of trust you have enveloped to each side and how much they actually